morning, everyone. Welcome back to my live painting session. Just kind of preparing some of my colors that I'm going to be using today. Can you guess what the topic of my painting is going to be today? And if someone can guess it before I even start, I would definitely give you a shout out, because that is a very tricky and hard thing to do. I'm going to probably put on my main colors on the palette. Let's see. Definitely some yellows in here. A little bit of blues. And some fluorescent orange. I'm going to start painting some layers, and let's just start seeing if there would be some formations right away. The one thing I'm going to be trying to use is this palette knife, and I feel that it's going to be coming in handy throughout this painting, but if it does not work out, I'll just switch back to my my go-to brush that I really do enjoy. It's very soft and flat, and this is like my all-time favorites throughout my whole life. My absolute go-to. I'm actually going to start trying to pre-mix a lot of my colors right now. And actually, I'm going to do a lot of titanium white. Just pre-mixing some cadmium yellow light. And in another section, I'll be pre-mixing a little bit of this very beautiful fluorescent orange. It's very hard to get this color just right. I'll also be pre-mixing some yellows. Because the whole point that I want to try to achieve in this painting is to give a very fluid brush-like palette knife style to it. And it has to be very methodical and very thought out. So this is the concept I want to do, to make it look very carefree, but it is painted with a lot of thought and a lot of precision in mind. So I'm just doing very rough pre-mixing right now. As you can see, I'm just taking some of the colors and using the small base to mix it with another base. Just a little bit of blues here. There is this very known fact that a lot of art schools, they really try to encourage artists not to use titanium white as its independent color on the painting. They always encourage to use it as a base and mix it in with just a little bit of color. I think it's a good train of thought. I think it's a good technique to go by, but I'm be the first one to say that I've used a lot of titanium white on its own on my paintings. So it's really depends on which painting, which style you're wanting to go for. Okay, I kind of have roughly the colors. And last but not least, I'm gonna get some much more darker ones. Actually with blacks too. There you go. Kind of got roughly my palette of colors here. I'm gonna mix another spot right here. There you go. We're gonna put this off to the side, and I'm gonna start layering these colors on the painting. I usually don't particularly enjoy pre-mixing all the colors because I'm this type of artist that really goes right into it, and as I go I start mixing. A lot of oil artists, they definitely tend to pre-mix a lot of their colors prior to the painting, and it really just depends on how it really suits you and your style. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start off by the lighter colors first. So I'm probably gonna take some of these whites. I'm gonna kind of place it on the canvas roughly where I want them to go. Keep in mind, I still want to keep everything very wet, so I'm kind of making a little bit of a thicker base. Now I'm going to go to more of the peach color. Probably going to go here, maybe here. I really want the thick layers to really build up, because afterwards I'm going to be using a very soft brush to really create that glass look, palette glass look. Okay, I'm going to be switching to the yellows now. And the spaces that I have not painted, I'm going to be adding this in there. Just like that. this bit of a darker color now. Probably here. Maybe just a tad bit here. It might seem very chaotic with all these clumps of colors, but I could assure you they're all meant to lay like this. It's all part of the process. I'm gonna go more with the darker now. My goal is to really cover up the canvas on the bottom. In my prior videos, I really do accentuate that covering every bit of that white on the canvas is truly essential, because it always signifies that it is being completed. If there are some spaces that you see the leftover canvas, it still feels like it's unfinished, or it's a sketch of some sort. I think it's a little extra effort goes a long way, especially in this style. I'm gonna go with the blues now. Probably adding, as you can see, I'm adding a lot of blues from above and from below. That kind of gives you a little bit of a hint of where it's heading to. Go with the very dark color right here. My goal is to truly cover as much as I can on the canvas first. Get all the whites covered. Wiping my palette right now. I'm gonna go back into some of these places. Start adding some shapes. I'm going to be adding just a more color, such as some of the reds in there. Beautiful reds. Just remember, this is my whole goal is to really truly add a lot of pigment and values to the canvas first, because that will give me the enough pigments to work with when I use my soft brush. I wonder if anyone can guess what I will be painting so far. Maybe right there. It's a good base, I think. I'm going to take a very, very soft brush, as you can see, and I'm going to be working from light to dark. So it's just going to be a very simple process of trying to be very gentle and either pouncing, going up and down, or going side to side. So I'm going to try to feel for how these paints are wanting to be blended. And I'm constantly trying to remove the paints that is from the bristles. just gently, ever so lightly trying to move my brush. As you can see, it's still getting really wet, and I probably have to either clean my brush and completely dry it or use another one to go on and instead. So I feel like will probably be the latter. So this is all wet right now. I'm gonna put this in the water and try to get another brush that is also dry and ready to go. But beforehand, I'm going to really clean this and let it dry really quick. There you go. I'm just gonna let this dry momentarily. Just kind of moving and shaping a little bit of the scenes. It is, I do see some of the comments, and I think Deborah, she almost hit spot on. Sanctuary in the icy mountains. But it's not going to be the icy mountains, but it is going to be a sanctuary where it is in the middle of the change of the season. I feel like I wanted to do this painting solely for the fact that there are always a place that we all need to step out from and get immersed in. And I feel that having our own sanctuary is one of the most meaningful things that we can create in this life. And I feel that during all the seasons in our life and all the changes, there still should be a sanctuary that will always be there and always remain while the things around us move and change constantly. So I feel that it could be a metaphor to find that sanctuary, or it could be a physical place where we can escape to and rejuvenate and replenish, and at the end of the day just recharge, because we all need that at the end of the day, end of the week. And what better way to recharge in nature? I think that is the most beautiful and rewarding things that God can give us in this life, that we have access to. Davey said, I absolutely love riding my bike through the mountains. One of my favorite things to do is travel and see all the different sceneries that God created. Yes, absolutely. That's 100%. Sometimes we really truly forget that with all the new things that are implemented into our lifestyle, such as different types of work, different ways to communicate through our phones and TV and all that stuff, sometimes we forget that the most long-lasting feeling of feeling connected is going in nature and just recharging, and even better to recharge with a family, recharge with a friend. It's just so special and it lasts forever. That memory truly does. What I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to blankets some of the reflection in the water and also some of the very, very pastel-like serene trees in the background. Trying to just kind of maneuver the paints around just a little bit. The most beautiful thing about acrylics is that it can really work for you when you need it to dry a little quicker or slower, and if you're waiting for another place to dry, you can work somewhere else. It really is very versatile. Very slight add to painting with some oranges, yellows, reds, just a little bit more to enhance some of the shapes. Something that I do is, as I'm working, I always tend to feel like I am sculpting with the paint itself and with the brushes. It's very therapeutic. It's very therapeutic and so rewarding to watch everything just really come together. One of the comments said, it's actually one of my all-time, my old friend actually, Sally. Thank you so much for joining the session, my painting session. I really miss you too. It's been so many years. I'm just thinking about all the times that, all the natures that were in Idaho, and we've moved so many places in America, and one of my favorite places was the natures of Washington State and Idaho. Had so many beautiful, beautiful lakes and mountains that you can't really ever fathom of how they were all created. It's just, you feel so blessed to be in the presence of something so much larger than yourself. Just ever so lightly trying to brush a little bit more color on top of each other. I also want it to slightly dry so I can blend more. My goal is to, after everything is somewhat set in place, I'm going to be adding something very special in the middle, which would represent a sanctuary. And what better way to represent a sanctuary like a gazebo? So that is something that I want to do. And I think I have to wait for the paints to dry a little bit for that to happen. As you can see, I kind of am trying to extend some of those trees, and like some of the pine trees in the background. Speaking of pine trees, there were so many back in one of my places that I used to live in Idaho, and I think there was a lot in Colorado, another place that we lived. It's such an ancient entity of nature. There it is. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of blues. Also adding some of the shapes in the background. Just like that. I really do love this color. It can really swing both ways of being a very, very bright red to pink to just pretty much anything in between the violets if it's really well mixed. It's just a great, great medium to use. I'm just trying to add a little bit more color before I blend it out once more. It's going to be a little bit of a process, but I feel that it will be worth it. If not, it will always work from there. I think that's one thing that many don't know about me is that I'm never frightened or scared of how it will turn out, because I know that there will always be a sign for me to notice that if there are so many hurdles and so many roadblocks, I know that that is a sign for me to turn a little bit the other way. And by me doing that, I come across some topics, some subjects, some techniques and styles I never thought I would ever do if I did not come to that crossroad. And I'm just, every painting is truly an adventure for me because I have no idea how every painting is going to be turning out. I do have somewhat of a slight idea, but the key is not to have a complete picture, because it doesn't go according to plan in your mind 100%. It will go like 200% better if you don't go according to plan. That's my 2 cents, because I feel like it is a very, very close resemblance to dance. We have to trust the paints and the brushes to dance with you, because how can you dance by yourself with so much a different type of music? And I think that's where this is like almost like where I'm dancing right now. I love adding back in this orange. Probably something that I'm thinking about doing is after all of this is completely dried, for days probably, there's a slight idea that I have to varnish it with a very glossy finish, but it all depends on how everything will turn out. I really want to experiment with that. Just kind of having some color peek through just a little bit. It's always nice to capture some of the sun rays. I also kind of want to make it feel like it was really foggy in the morning and some of the dew really reflects and distorts some of the sun rays. I think it's a really beautiful effect to incorporate. Okay, I'm gonna now go back to the original brush that I've used in the beginning, and I'm gonna go all over again. So just nicely blend out. I really like this idea of kind of going in and out with some of this blending. Just like that. Do you hear a little bit of how it's being stuck to the canvas? That's exactly what I want. That's the time where the paints are being solidifying, and that is my cue to really start honing in the blending. even the very simplest of paintings, they always have an undertone of challenges, and I think that's the key to create a painting that looks quite effortless, but have the people or the viewers not really realize what goes on behind it. I think always is going to be a mystery to every painting. And I truly believe that artists, if they're able to capture effortless in their paintings, I think that is, to me, one of the most highest peaks of achievement, because it always encompasses precision, challenges, focus, and pure dedication and time. There were just a lot of my fans throughout the years, when every time when I went to a meet and greet, and I've always heard that, wow, this looks so much like a photograph, this looks so much like just like one of my dreams. It just looks that, it was done so effortless. And I think that, to me, is one of the most rewarding things that I could hear, because that, to me, is the epitome of what true art is, to be able to capture that and have people really dive into it. If you notice that, if you can hear some of the bristles on my brush, you can definitely hear the paints blending correctly. And I think it's just dry enough, just wet enough for me to mold it. And that's what I'm doing right now. Somebody commented, how many meet and greets have you done? That's a great question. Actually, I have to ask all my family to see, to remember the numbers, but I've definitely had a huge number throughout the years, because I've started when I was the meet and greets when I was 8.5, 9 years old. So just throughout the years, oh my goodness, I probably don't remember. I lost count. I think those are one of the most rewarding times of my life is every time when I have done meet and greets. Because not only it is a safe space for me to share my story and my paintings and poetry, it's also a safe space for others to be able to share their most vulnerable stories. And not a lot of places have that. There were many times where people would come up to me and they would say that this is the only place that you're the only person that knows about this. None of my family know about this, or I could not even share this at my church, or there's just one of the few comments that were said. And I feel that on one hand, not only is that a beautiful and rewarding responsibility, but I feel that I really want to create more of a space for others to share and for others to be themselves. And by doing these videos, by painting these paintings and writing these books and creating more galleries, I feel that it is an experience. It is a sanctuary in a way. And it's a great full circle of the painting that I'm doing right now, which is a sanctuary. I feel like I want to add more of this particular blue. I feel like by doing this, it really makes the sky peep through in just the right areas. Art 23 said, it was wonderful meeting you at the beloved gallery. Oh, thank you for coming there. That is one of my all-time favorite moments, is returning back to the beloved gallery every year and meeting so many my fans that they always become part of the family. So it's almost like meeting my family. Thank you so much for going there, and thank you so much for your support. I'm kind of adding some colors back in if you noticed, but I'm still going to a very vertical brush style to keep that the nice warm reflection. There you go. If you notice, I'm always dancing around the canvas. Sometimes my hand sees faster than my eyes. So, always trying to keep up with it. I feel like I want to add a little bit of a bush here. I drag some of the dark colors up temporarily. Just like that. Same here. I want to do a little bit of a bush here, a little bit some bushes here, and then the gazebo right in the middle, or somewhat in the middle, depending on how it's coming together. I kind of want to use a little bit of the darks to be behind the gazebo to accentuate some of the light, so that's why I'm doing a little bit of a layer over there to make it nice. Adding some of these bright reds. Just a little bit. Adding a little bit more of these oranges in the background. It's always a play of some of the saturated colors and non-saturated colors, because you need to have both for the vibrant colors to pop. If you only have vibrant colors, it will pop, but not as much. So imagine having a non-vibrant color like a grayish tone in the background and have this bright orange or bright yellow. it'll definitely pop more if that happens. I think that's one of the tricks that I've learned over the years, is to use both if you want something to truly pop. Excuse. My goal is to have some of these pop out a little bit, have this more of a kind of like a saturated values to it, and have some of these really truly pop. So that's why I'm kind of trying to make it a little bit of a balanced layer. Just ever so lightly, I'm blending out those colors that I just laid. And then afterwards, what I'm going to be doing, adding some little more touches on the water, and then I'm going to be adding some of the tree barks and some of the tree stumps, branches, just a little bit, just so you could see like somewhat of an idea that it's hiding in the background. But to do that, I have to do some of these layers first, so it's a bit time consuming, but I think it's worth it. Someone asked in the chat, how many paintings do I typically do a year? I would say that it really depends, actually, on the year, pretty much. I feel that before, when I was a child, roughly when I was like a child to my first years of being a teenager, I would typically paint about 6 to 10 paintings a year. But after I became a teenager, I think my patience for art and the hours that it took to paint really expanded. So not only was I able to sit and work for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours, I really truly devoted my, just my time. I invested my teenager years into painting because I just fell in love with it. I couldn't stop, and I do remember that my days in the mornings and the afternoons would be just filled with me sketching, and when other children would play outside, I would just want to go into my studio, and then I would rejoin them later. But I just fell so much in love with art. And as I became an adult, I think even more so my patience and my subjects became more complex, that the duration of me sitting in my studio not prolonged, but became so much longer that it would then take years to finish a painting. So during my adult years, I would say it could be from 2 a year, maybe 3 a year, but definitely maybe 2 a year, to probably just 1, because I would expand and work on a piece of painting for more than a year. For example, there's this painting called 16 Lives in the Wind. Not only have I painted it in 3 different states and countries, that took me almost 1,000 hours to complete, and that also took me, I think, definitely over a year to complete. Same thing with Dharma, that took me almost 3 years from beginning to end. And my self-portrait also took me, the 2020 self-portrait took me about a year and a half to complete. So it really varies. These days, what I'm doing is expanding and listening to whatever God wants me to paint, I paint. So sometimes I would use my time for larger pieces and work on that for a few months, and then during the afternoons I would work on some of other pieces that would take me a few weeks to a few months. So I'm kind of utilizing whatever inspiration comes my way. So yeah, these days it really can vary from a couple dozen a year now to 1 a year. Actually, everything now currently that I've painted is going to be in my new book that I have just on the last stages of arriving from America from Italy, and I'm so excited to launch it and show everyone all my new paintings that are inside that book. It's a long time coming, for sure. Long time coming. Many years in the making. But I'm so excited to share with everyone, and I can say it might be coming up really soon, and I'm excited to launch it and show you all my art book. Debbie asked, how can I get your book? Actually, what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to plan on doing, is to launch it on my website and all my social media platforms very soon. Probably the next few weeks, I can say. And also, if you're signed up to our newsletter, for sure you'll get a lot of updates there as well. I'm just so thrilled to show everyone all the never-before-seen works that I've done over the years. Some of the drawings I have completed when I was 3 years old, and just it is a cumulative visual diary, I would say. Actually, since I was very, very lucky because one of the very first proofs of the book came in this week, and on this live stream, I will be showing you the never before seen art book live, and you all will be the first ones ever to see it. So I'm gonna just give you a sneak peek. If you want, I can give it to you. A little bit of a clue of what's going to be inside the book. I have it with me today, right by my studio table. Here, I'll show it to you really quickly, actually. I'm so excited. I don't know if I can wait any longer. My hands are a little bit dirty right now, but I will show it to you. So this is, right beside me, is my book. It's printed, and it has been bound and from Italy, and finally arrived really recently here, and I'm just extremely excited to share this book with everyone. And I'll give you a sneak peek. For example, these are some of my drawings when I was 3 years old. And goes from all of these paintings, all of the paintings I've done over the years. It will all be here in this book. So please, I'm super excited to share this with everyone. So look out for this book. I got so excited, I just couldn't wait to share it with you. But for sure, you guys all are the first ones to ever see it. So I can tell you that this project has been long time coming, probably 12, 13 years, maybe 15 years. It has been on a roller coaster ride because of so many paintings that I've painted, I always wanted to add into the book. And the moment that I was about to publish, there's another painting I wanted to add into the book, so I kept on going and going and going. But there is a point where, you know, all authors, and we have to make that executive decision to pause and finally publish the book. And we've done it. We've done it with the support of my whole family and with everybody, all the great team. We finally published the book, so I'm so excited. I know that this will be the first editions, so as time goes by and more paintings will be painted, I will be adding to the book in the future. So this will be the first edition, in my opinion. Like, it's going to be continuously added throughout the years. There you go. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be adding some of the tree barks here and maybe a little bit here. Tree stumps, tree like branches. Adriana said, will you do signed copies of the book? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, and not only would I do signed copies, I will also do dedicated copies, and there might be something else that I had in mind to add to the book, but yes, I will do signed copies. So here he is. I'm going to be actually utilizing the brush knife again. Let's just see if this works. If not, I can always change it back to the brush. But I feel this would be a good effect. Alright, I think this is a good color. Let me just pop right in here. Just kind of ever so lightly, just like almost like a suggestion. I'm kind of bringing these lines up. Something is there, but we don't know. probably is a little hard to see with the glare. I'm able to create a little bit of a platform so you can see. Add just a little bit of darker ones here, darker ones here. I kind of lifted the painting up so you can see a little bit more without the glare. Just a little bit here. Got more of a darker one on this side, right in the middle of that. Like I said, I'm kind of like dancing with these new palette knives, so just trying to feel out wherever it wants to go. Just like that. There you go. I feel like I'm gonna use the same palette knife, kind of incorporate some of the patches. Kind of going in and out, crisscross with this knife. Just like that. I'm also going to use this knife down below, just like that. The sanctuary is whatever you make it to be. And this sanctuary is something that I want to fly there and walk in there right now. So this is something that I'm kind of visualizing at the moment. It's in the middle of nowhere. Something is pulling you in. You can decompress and breathe and truly enjoy the air. Just like that. I'm going to be adding just a little bit more color here to showcase a separation. Just barely touching the canvas to make this. I'm going to put this down so I can see a little bit more of the water. Is kind of just barely touching. I don't want to touch it everywhere because I still want to make it just extremely calm. But I also want to do some separation from the hedges to the pond or lake. While everything dries, I'm going to see if I can get my smaller brush and add in the gazebo. I'm going to be first using a mid-tone so I can get a little bit of a layer where I want to go, and then I'm going to go from the darks to the lights. But I feel like I want to begin probably roughly around here. I usually like to use some masking tape to create a very, very clean line. But because everything is very lucid and just free flowing, I don't think it's super necessary at the moment. Just like that. I'm going to give it very, very nice, long, straight pillar right there. somewhat hiding. I'm just kind of creating a rough idea right now just to see where it wants to go. Right there. I think I want to make a darker one right now. There's somewhat of an archway here, which I really like. I know it's probably quite hard to see with the reflection, but I think I'm going to be popping up the canvas again to work on some of the details so you can see a little bit more what I'm working with. Add this one. Add the roof right here somewhere. There you go. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect lines, but I feel like for this painting, it doesn't really require just like a suggestion. Like almost like you're opening up your eyes and like you are just woke up from a dream and you can go walking through here. That's the concept I want. I'm actually going to move this steeple just a little bit further for the legs of the gazebo. I really do enjoy painting the archways. There's something about it that the moment there's an archway in any kind of building, it feels you're traveling back in time through the Colosseums or the beautiful churches of Europe or the temples of across Asia. There's just something about it that just pulls you in a timeless dream. Gonna add a little bit of a green roof on top of it. Right there. I have a feeling I want to separate a little bit of the archway, so I feel like I can place some dark undertone in the back of the wood so you can see a little bit more of it. Just like that. And also the archway as well. I'm thinking of going to mirror it just a little bit in the water as well. So yes, that's a good idea for me to do. I'm gonna add this just a little bit up so I can see just a little bit. I'm kind of gonna go a little bit more closer. So I'm gonna use my detail brush to finish some of these crevices. It's not going to be a perfect line, but it'll be just enough so you can see everything coming together. applying some of the highlights on top of it. And especially on the side where the light is hitting just right. There you go. I like this color. Let's try it. Go. Just a little bit of darkness on the side. Also right here, I think it's missing. Just a little bit. And I kind of want to add a little bit of blue in the background to pop out just a little bit. Just like that. It's almost like it's hiding those bushes. I'm gonna add some steps or like a little bit of a platform there. There you go. Just like that. Want to add just a touch or two of highlights right on the edge. Pew, pew. Just like a little bit. Maybe some here. Yep. Kind of want it to be hidden, so that's why I'm not exactly defining the bottom. I want it to feel like some of the foliage is engulfing and overlapping the foundation of the sanctuary. And to do that, I'm just kind of blending in and out constantly to show the interconnectedness of the nature. Kind of zoning out to, I like to move back a little bit so I can see kind of the full picture. If I'm too close to the painting for so long, sometimes it creates like a little bit of like a tunnel vision. So to do that, even like a little bit of a step back can really reset that thing for me. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just taking a step back. I know that I want to make a very light reflection in the water, almost like a suggestion. It's like barely there. I'm going to take my large brush and just touch it, just like that. There's something about painting your own sanctuary that really feels that you could step into it at any point throughout the whole day. And I think if everyone attempted to draw something of their own, I think it would be a reminder to really take a breather. Everything will be okay. There you go. If you can notice, I'm kind of still maintaining that really fluid brush strokes. I really want to keep it as such. It's hard because it's always very easy, in my opinion, to go into realism. For me personally, and probably for others might be the opposite, but for me, it's so much easier to go into realism. But the point in certain styles is to stop at a certain point where it still holds that essence that you're trying to depict, that unlike some realisms they're able to do. So you have to be very careful at when to stop, when to feel like this is just enough. And it's hard. It's hard to do that sometimes. If it was up to me, I would just keep on diving and diving into more and more details. but I feel that it's utmost necessary to understand the concept of your inspiration and to really try to portray it as such. I feel like I want to just encapsulate some of the remaining colors that are lacking to be popped, and then I think everything came together. So, popping some of the blues back. Just gonna add a little bit of the trees. I'm kind of making a vertical strokes again on the bushes so it can blend out just a bit. Gonna add a little bit more pinks here. It's just so fun that every morning that I can just wake up and just paint. I just feel so blessed. And especially when there is an important painting that I have to do, I feel the utmost urgency to accurately depict it. And I do feel like a bit of a responsibility to do so, but I feel I would have, that's like the best feeling and the best reward an artist can have is when they do have that responsibility to share that powerful or that meaningful message. little bit more of the yellows. And I feel like we're almost closing in to the final touches. Like that. Last but not least, some little bit of white. I want to do some touches here. Just a little bit. Go. There you go. I think this encapsulates some of the idea that I wanted to paint today. So thank you all for joining me today, trying to paint a piece of sanctuary. And I just feel unbelievably blessed to have you all join me painting. It just, the most unbelievable motivation, hearing and seeing your comments and you all watching and supporting me in so many ways. I can't tell you how grateful and thankful I am for all of you. And here you go. That's it. Thank you all for joining, and I just wanted to let you know once again, feel free to keep an eye out for my upcoming book that is published officially, and it's going to be launching very, very soon. And a lot of my newer works and never before seen works are going to be all in this book. So I really feel honored and grateful that you're all here today, and you were all the first ones to know about this. So thank you so much,